Hey everyone, this is Arcsage Pent, and it's been a long time since Thanksgiving. So, how's everybody doing? I'm doing pretty good myself. As you can see down here, I have downloaded 3 new games that I've never played before. Still haven't gotten to this one. But I have grown to love the Ace Attorney series over these past couple months. So today we're going to take a look at the first case in the first game. So without further ado,
Objection!
let's do it. It's not the most exciting title screen there ever was, but there you go. So, now I've already beaten the game once, so we're just gonna do Court Record 2, new game. So let's do it. Damn it. Why me? I can't get caught. Not like this. I've got to find someone to pin this on. Someone like him. I'll make it look like he did it. Boy, am I nervous. So this is what's great about this game. You can voice act if you want to, or you don't have to, but I'm gonna do it. I don't care if you guys think I'm terrible or not, but I'm gonna do it. Because I love this game, and it's just great fun to do this. So, here we go. Right. I'm not gonna do any girl voices, I don't think. Oh, hiya, Chief. Whew, I'm glad I made it on time. Well, I have to say, Phoenix, I'm impressed. Not everyone takes on a murder trial right off the bat like this. This says a lot about you, and your client as well. Thanks. Actually, it's because I owe him a favor. A favor? You mean you knew the defendant before this case? Yes. Actually, I kinda owe my current job to him. He's one of the reasons I became an attorney. Well, that's news to me. I want to help him out any way I can. I just really want to help him. I owe him that much. It's over! My life, everything, it's all over! Isn't that your client screaming over there? Yeah, that's him. Death! Despair! Ah! I'm gonna do it! I'm gonna die! It sounds like he wants to die. Yeah. Nick! Hey there, Larry. Dude, I'm so guilty! Tell him I'm guilty! Give me the death sentence! I ain't afraid to die! What? What's wrong, Larry? Oh, it's all over. I'm finished! Finished! I can't live in a world without her! I can't! Who took her away from me, Nick? Who did this? Oh, Nick, you gotta tell me. Who took my baby away? The person responsible for your girlfriend's death. Newspapers say it was you. My name is Phoenix Wright. Here's the story. My first case is a fairly simple one. A young woman was killed in her apartment. The guy they arrested was the unlucky sap dating her. Larry Butz. My best friend since grade school. Our school had a saying, when something smells, it's usually the butts. In the 23 years I've known him, it's usually been true. He has a knack for getting himself into trouble. One thing I can say, though, it's usually not his fault. He just has terrible luck. But I know better than anyone that he's a good guy at heart. That and I owe him one. That's why I took this case, to clear his name. And that's just what I'm gonna do. So, here we go into the tutorial trial section. So, we're not going to play the next case at all, but this game is split into two different categories. It's split into investigation and trial parts. So, this tutorial case only has the trial part, not the investigation. But, so you're going to get a good sampling of half the game, I guess, in this first case. So, and this is so fun. I love this. The court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Larry Butz. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The, defense is ready, Your Honor? Him. Mr. Wright. This is your first trial, is it not? Yes, Your Honor. I'm, a little nervous. Your conduct during this trial will decide the fate of your client. Murder is a serious charge for your client's sake. I hope you can control your nerves. Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, given the circumstances, I think we should have a test to ascertain your readiness. Yes, Your Honor. Hands shaking, eyesight fading. The test will consist of a few simple questions. Answer them clearly and concisely. Please state the name of the defendant in this case. So, is it me, Phoenix Wright, Larry Butz, or Mia Fey, my boss? Now, the tutorial case will let you mess up some, but later on in the game, you can't make these silly mistakes without taking a penalty from the court. But, just for grins, we're gonna do, we're gonna set the stop one. The defendant is me, right? Right! Have you completely lost your mind? Focus! The defendant is the person on trial! Look at her face. You're his lawyer. Oh yeah, right. This is no laughing matter. You did pass the bar, didn't you? Sorry, I couldn't hear your answer. I'll ask once more. Please state the name of the defendant in this case. The defendant? Well, that's Larry Butz, Your Honor. Correct. Just keep your wits about you and you'll do fine. Next question. This is a murder trial. Tell me, what is the victim's name? Whew, I know this one. Glad I read the case report cover to cover so many times. It's... wait. Uh-oh. Oh no, no way. I forgot. I'm drawing a total blank here. Phoenix! Are you absolutely sure you're up to this? You don't even know the victim's name? Oh, the victim! Of course I know the victim's name! I, just forgot. Temporarily. I think I feel a migraine coming on. Look, the victim's name is listed in the court record. Just press the plus button to check it, okay? Remember to check it often. Do it for me, please. I'm begging you. Let's hear your answer. Who is the victim in this case? So if you press the plus button here, we can look at my badge. No one will believe I was a defense attorney if I didn't carry this. And we can see Cindy's autopsy report. So, now we're looking at it. Time of death, July the 31st, between 4 and 5. Cause of death, loss of blood due to blunt force trauma. So, we can glean from that her name is Cindy. So it's not Mia Fey or Cinder Block, which is kind of this one's kind of funny. And Cindy Stone. We're gonna do Cinderblock because it's kind of funny. Wasn't it Miss Block? Ms. Cinderblock? The person in question was a victim of murder, not ill-conceived naming, Mr. Wright. Right. If you forget something, use the plus button and help you remember. Mistake in court could cost you the case. I'll ask you again. Let's see your answer. The victim's name is Cindy Stone. Correct. Now tell me, what was the cause of death? She died because she was hit with a blunt object. She was struck once by a blunt object. Correct. You've answered all my questions. I see no reason why we shouldn't proceed. You seem much more relaxed, Mr. Wright. Good for you. Thank you, Your Honor. Because I don't feel relaxed, that's for sure. Well then. First, a question for the prosecution. Mr. Bain.
Yes, Your Honor.
As Mr. Wright just told us, the victim was struck with a blunt object. Would you explain to the court just what that object was?
The murder weapon was the statue of the Thinker. It was found lying on the floor next to the victim.
I see. The court accepts this into evidence. Statue is added to the court record. Now we can look at it. See? Statue in the shape of the Thinker. It's quite heavy. Be sure to pay attention to any evidence added to the trial. That evidence is only ammunition you have in court. Press plus to check it out and do it often. You need to check this evidence and check it often. Mr. Payne, the prosecution may call its first witness. The prosecution calls the defendant, Mr. Butz, to the stand. Chief, what do I do now? Pay attention. You don't want to miss any information that might help your client's case. You'll get your chance to respond to the prosecution later, so be ready. Let's just hope he doesn't say anything unfortunate. Uh-oh, Larry gets excited easily. This could be bad. He looks cocky.
Ahem.
Mr. Butz, is it not true the victim had recently dumped you?
Hey, watch it, buddy.
We were great together. We were Romeo and Juliet, Cleopatra and Mark Antony. Didn't they all die? I wasn't done. She just wasn't taking my phone calls or seeing me. Ever. What's it to you anyway?
Mr. Butz, what you described is generally what we mean by dumped. In fact, she had completely abandoned you and was seeing other men. She had just returned from overseas with one of them the day before the murder.
What do you mean, one of them?
Lies! All of it! Lies!
I don't believe a word of it.
Your Honor, the victim's passport. According to this, she was in Paris until the day before she died.
Passport added to the record. Indeed, she appears to have returned the day before the murder. Thank you, Judge. The victim apparently returned home from Paris on July the 30th, the day before the murder. Dude, no way. The victim was a model, but did not have a large income.
It appears she had several sugar daddies.
Daddies? Sugar?
Yes, older men who gave her money and gifts. She took their money and used it to support her lifestyle.
Dude! We can clearly see what kind of woman this Miss Stone was.
Tell me, Mr. Butz, what do you think of her now?
Right. I don't think you want to answer that question. Yeah, Larry has a way of running his mouth in all the wrong directions. Should I wait till it happens? Stop him. My client has no idea the victim was seeing other men. The question is irrelevant to this case.
Oof.
Dude, Nick, what do you mean irrelevant? That cheating she-dog. I'm gonna die. I'm just gonna drop dead. Yeah, when I meet her in the afterlife, I'm gonna get to the bottom of this. Let's continue with the trial, shall we? Do you think his motive is clear to anyone? Yes, quite. Oh boy, this is so not looking good.
Next question.
You went to the victim's apartment on the day of the murder, did you not? I need some water.
Well, did you or did you not?
Well, maybe I did, maybe I didn't. Uh-oh, he went. What do I do? Tell the truth. I know, I'll send a signal. Tell the truth! Yeah, I was there. I went. Order. Well, Mr. Butz. Dude, chill! She wasn't home, man, so like, I didn't see her. That's why I was trying to do his voice all high and squeaky. I just forgot how shrill his objection really was.
Your Honor, the defendant is lying.
Lying? Lying? The prosecution would like to call a witness who can prove Mr. Butz is lying. Well, that simplifies matters. Who is your witness?
The man who found the victim's body just before making the gruesome discovery. He saw the defendant fleeing the scene of the crime.
Order in the court. Mr. Payne, the prosecution may call its witness.
Yes, Your Honor.
This is bad. On the day of the murder, my witness was selling newspapers at the victim's building. Please bring Mr. Frank Shawit to the stand. Terrible, terrible puns in this first case. Mr. Shawit, you sell newspaper subscriptions. Is this correct? Oh, yes, newspapers, yes. Mr. Shawit, you may proceed with your testimony. Please tell the court what you saw on the day of the murder. Witness account. I was going door to door. Door to door. Fine, that's what I was doing. I was going door to door, selling subscriptions when I saw a man fleeing an apartment. I thought he must be in a hurry because he left the door half open behind him. Thinking it strange, I looked inside the apartment. Then I saw her lying there, a woman, not moving, dead! I quailed and frightened and found myself unable to go inside. I thought to call the police immediately. However, the phone in her apartment wasn't working. I went to a nearby park and found a public photo. Remember the time exactly. It was 1 p.m. The man who ran was, without a doubt, the defendant sitting right over there. Larry, why didn't you tell the truth? I can't defend you against a testimony like that. Incidentally, why wasn't the phone in the victim's apartment working? Your Honor, at the time of the murder, there was a blackout in the building. Aren't phones supposed to work during a blackout? Yes, Your Honor. However, some cordless phones do not function normally. The phone that Mr. Shawit used was one of those. Your Honor, I have a record of the blackout for your perusal. Blackout record. Okay, blackout out of the court record. Let's take a quick look at that. Electricity to Miss Stone's building was out from noon to 6 on the day of the murder. Alright. Now, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. You may begin your cross-examination. Cross-examination, Your Honor? Alright, right, this is it. The real deal. What exactly am I supposed to do? Why, you exposed the lies that... testimony the witness just gave. Lies? What? He was lying? Your client is innocent, right? And the witness must have lied in his testimony. Or is your client really guilty? How do I prove he's not? You hold the key. It's in the evidence. Compare the witness's testimony to the evidence at hand. There's bound to be a contradiction in there. And contradiction is the name of the game in Phoenix Wright. When the cases work well, that's the name of the game. Woohoo! That circus case in the second game. Oh man. But we're not going to talk about that today. First, find the contradictions between the court record and the witness's testimony. Then, once you've found the contradicting evidence, present it and rub it in the witness's face. Okay. So remember, press the witness with the minus button or by waving the Wii remote. And check your facts again with the plus button and point out the contradiction. So we could press every single one of these statements, but there really isn't a purpose. I mean, I'm sure there's some funny dialogue and stuff going on, but if you're paying attention, we know that the contradiction is right, not there. Nearby park. It's the very last statement. Remember the time exactly. It was 1 p.m. Well, it's not the last statement. This is the lie. Yeah. And that gives you this. You can also present. You can swing it like you would like you're really pointing at him, or you can press the minus button. I'm sitting in an awkward position, so it's easier for me just to press minus. So, this is the contradiction. Causes death between 4 and 5. What are you talking about? 1 o'clock. So, even though I just said I was gonna not point, I'm gonna point. So, here we go. Objection! You found the body at 1 p.m. You're sure? Yes, it was 1 p.m. for certain. Frankly, I find that hard to believe. Your statement directly contradicts the autopsy report. The autopsy notes the time of death at some time after 4 p.m. There was no body to find at 1 p.m. How do you explain this 3-hour gap? This is trivial. The witness really forgot the time. After his testimony, I find that hard to believe. Mr. Sawit, why were you so certain that you found the body at 1 p.m.? Gee, that's a really good question. Great job, Wright. Way to put him on the spot. That's all you have to do. Point out contradictions. Lies always beget more lies. See through one, and their whole story falls apart. Wait, I remember now. Would you care to give your testimony again? Alright, so now he's changing his story. You see, when I found the body, I heard the time. There was a voice saying the time. It was probably coming from the television. Oh, but it was 3 hours off, wasn't it? I guess the victim must have been watching a video of a tape program? That's why I thought it was 1 p.m. Terribly sorry about the misunderstanding. I see. You heard a voice saying the time on a tape program. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Right. You know what to do. I've got this one. Certainly do. There was a voice saying the time. It was probably coming from the television. Oh, but it's 3 hours off, wasn't it? I guess the victim must have been watching a video of a tape program. That's why I thought it was 1. Terribly sorry about that. This cannot be true. Why, you may ask? Because we had the blackout record. We know the power's out from noon until 6 o'clock. So again, he's lying. So again, Phoenix must say... Objection! Hold it right there. The prosecution has said there was a blackout at the time of the discovery. And this record proves it. You couldn't have heard a television or a video. Yeah. Uh-oh. No. The defense has a point. Do you have an explanation for this, Mr. Sawit? No, I find it quite puzzling myself. Quite. Ah! Wait, I remember now. Mr. Sawit? The court would prefer to hear an accurate testimony from the very beginning. These constant corrections are harming your credibility. That, and you seem rather distraught. My apologies, Your Honor. It must have been the shock of finding the body. Very well, Mr. Sawit. Let's hear your testimony once more, please. Hearing the time. Actually, I didn't hear the time. I saw it. There was a table clock in the apartment, wasn't there? Yeah, the murder weapon. The killer used it to hit the victim. That must have been what I saw.
You saw a clock? I guess that would explain it. The defense may cross-examine the witness. Gladly. So again, another easy contradiction in this first case. You see, now the music's even saying something's going on around here. Yeah, see, even the music's even... The murder weapon, the killer used it to hit the victim. Now, as far as we know, this thing's a statue, it's not a clock. So once again, Phoenix, raise your mighty voice and say... Objection! Wait just a moment. The murder weapon wasn't a clock. It was this statue. Now how is this supposed to be a clock? Why, you with your objections and your evidence. Just who do you think you are? Just answer the question, Mr. Sawit. You gotta turn it up a little bit. This music is awesome. There we go. Hey, I saw it there, okay? That's a clock!
Your Honor, if I may.
Yes, Mr. Payne?
As the witness stated, the statue is indeed a clock.
The neck is a switch. You just tilt it and it says the time out loud. As it doesn't look like a clock, I submit it as a statue. My apologies. I see. So the murder weapon was a type of clock after all. Well, Mr. Wright, it appears that the witness's testimony was correct. This is a clock. Do you have any problems with his testimony now? Yes, I do. Your Honor, there's a gaping hole in the witness's testimony. The only way he could have known the weapon was a clock is to hold it in his hand. Yet the witness testified that he never entered the apartment. Clearly a contradiction. Indeed. The witness knew it was a clock because he went into the apartment. You're lying. You were inside the apartment on the day of the murder. Oh yeah? Prove it! Prove I went in there! I'll do better than that. I can prove you were there. I can prove you were the one who killed her. You struck her with that clock, and the shock of the blow triggered the clock's voice. That was the sound you heard. Order in the court. Intriguing. Please continue, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Sawit, the sound must have left quite an impression on you. Understandable, since the murder weapon spoke just as you hit the victim. That voice was burned into your mind. That's why you were so certain about the time.
What's the meaning of this? This is all baseless conjecture.
Baseless? Just look at the witness's face.
Would
the witness care to elaborate? Did you strike the victim with the clock?
That day, I never.
Look, the clock, I heard, no, I mean, I saw. Shut up! I hate you. It was him, I tell you. I saw him. He killed her and he should burn, give him death. Order in the court, I say.
Your Honor, a moment, please.
There isn't a shred of evidence supporting the defense's claims. Mr. Wright, Your Honor, you claim the sound was heard came from the clock. Do you have any evidence? The whole case is riding on this. I better think it through carefully. Yes, Your Honor. The sound heard was most definitely this clock. It was clear if you simply examine the batteries, ask the neighbors. If we try sounding the clock, of course. Let's sound the clock now, here in this court. Your Honor, may I have the clock? I ask the court to listen very carefully. I think it's 8:25. That's certainly a strange way to announce the time. Well, he is the thinker, after all. So, we've heard the clock. What are your conclusions, Mr. Wright? Mr. Payne, can you tell me what time it is now? It's 11:25. As you can see, this clock is exactly 3 hours slow. Precisely the discrepancy between what Mr. Sawit heard and the actual time of death. So, Mr. Sawit, how to talk your way out of this one?
Ha! Ha ha!
You forgot one thing. Uh-oh. What's he talking about? Well, let me see if that clock is running 3 hours slow. It proves nothing. How do you know it was running 3 hours slow on the day of the murder? If you can't prove that, you don't have a case. He's right. How am I gonna prove that? Damn it, I was so close. Mr. Wright? It seems you lack the critical evidence to support your claim. Yes, Your Honor. This means I cannot let you indict this witness. Unfortunately, this ends the cross-examination of Mr. Frank Sawit. I come all the way down to testify, and look what happens. They treat me like a criminal. A criminal! You lawyers are all slime. Lawyers. I almost had him. Sorry, Larry. I failed you. There's nothing I can do about it now. Not so fast, Mr. Sawit. Yeah, I mean, Chief. Listen up, Wright. Don't throw this one away. Not like this. Think! But, Chief, it's over! I can't prove the clock was slow the day of the murder. Nobody can prove that. Well, yes. It doesn't mean you still can't win. Try thinking out of the box. Don't waste time doubting the facts. Assume the clock was 3 hours slow and think through it. Ask yourself, why was the clock 3 hours slow? Figure out the reason and you'll have your proof. Right? Right? Can you think of a reason as to why the clock would be 3 hours slow? Yes, I can. Wait! Maybe I can prove it. And it's somewhere they can prove it, right? Find it and let him have it. Well, Mr. Wright, you said the clock was already running slow on the day of the murder. Have you found evidence to support this claim? Of course. There's a piece of evidence in the court record that can prove my claim beyond a doubt. Tough words. Let's see you pull this one off. Let's see this evidence is proven why the clock was running slow. This is the evidence, my friends. The passport. She was in Paris. The victim had just returned home from abroad the day before the murder. As we all know, the time difference between here and Paris is 9 hours. When it's 4 p.m. there, it's 1 a.m. the next day there. The clock wasn't 3 hours slow, it was 9 hours fast. The victim hadn't reset her clock since returning home. That's why the time you heard, when you struck her dead in her apartment, was wrong. Proof enough for you, Mr. Sawit, or should I say, Mr. Did It? Here he goes. Oh, gosh. And he just disappeared forever. Order, I say. Well. Okay. No, we'll do that in a second. We'll look at that in a second. Well. This case has certainly turned out differently than we all expected. Mr. Payne, your client.
He was arrested and is being taken away, Your Honor.
Very well. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. I have to say, I'm impressed. I don't think I've ever seen someone complete a defense so quickly. I find the true culprit at the same time. Thank you, Your Honor. At this point, this is only a formality, but this court finds the defendant, Mr. Larry Butz, not guilty. Woohoo! And with that, the court is adjourned. Turns out that Frank Sawit was a common burglar. He posed as a newspaper salesman to check and see when people were out of the house. That day, when Larry went to her apartment, the victim wasn't home. After he left, Mr. Sawit let himself in to do his dirty work. While he was searching her place, the victim returned. Flustered, Mr. Sawit grabbed the nearest blunt object he could find. Whew. I still can't believe we won. Right. Great job in there. Congratulations. Thanks, Chief. I owe it all to you. Not at all. Not at all. You fought your own battles in there. It's been a while since I've seen a trial end on such a satisfying note. I've never seen the Chief looking this happy. She's this glad. Imagine how Larry must feel. My life is over. Larry, you're supposed to be happy. What's wrong now? Oh, Nick. Don't worry about me. I'll be dead and gone soon. Good. Wait, no. I mean, bat. Larry, you're innocent. The case is closed. But my Cindy Wendy's gone, man. Gone forever. Larry, she was nah, never mind. Congratulations, Harry. Harry? Yes, you. I can practically see the headlines now. Harry Butz, innocent. Thanks. I really owe you one. I won't forget this, ever. Let's celebrate. Dinner? Movie? My treat. Oh no, I couldn't. Hey, I was the one who got you off the hook. Oh, hey. Here, take this. It's a present. A present? For me? Wait, wasn't this evidence that... Actually, I made this clock for her. I made one for her and one for me. But really? You? You made this? Well, thank you. I'll keep it as a memento. Yo, Nick. Can you believe it? I was so into that chick. And she was just playing me for a fool. They just make you want to cry. Oh. Larry. Are you so sure? Excuse me? I think she thought quite a lot of you in her own way. Nah, you don't gotta sympathize with me. It's okay. Oh, I'm not just sympathizing. Really. Isn't that right? Right. Do you have something to show your friend? Okay, now this is something that can happen a few times after a case, is that you'll get an opportunity to present someone with a bit of evidence to just proves how smart you are, I guess, how much you were paying attention. So, this thing will show you profiles too. So we'll do these. EFA 27. Chief Attorney at Fane Company, my boss, and a very good defense attorney. Larry? Likeable defendant in this case. Oh yeah, likeable guy. He was my friend in grade school. Cindy Stone, age 22. The victim in this case, a model. She lived in an apartment by herself. Winston Payne, the prosecutor for this case, lacks presence. Generally bad at getting his points across. And Frank Sawit, discovered Miss Stone's body, newspaper salesman who saw Larry flee the scene. Something that proves how she felt about it? Huh? Oh yeah, right. What the heck is she talking about? She's talking about this, of course. Check this out, Larry. Proof positive you weren't just some chump to her. Huh? Where'd you get that clock? This is the clock you made for her, Larry. She took it with her when she traveled. She probably just needed a clock, that's all. You think so? It's a pretty heavy clock to take traveling. Well, make of it what you will. Hey, Nick. I'm glad I asked you to be my lawyer. Really, I am. Thanks. I hope that made him feel a little better. Right? I hope you see the importance of evidence now. Also, hopefully you realize things change depending on how you look at them. People, too. We never really know if our clients are guilty or innocent. All we can do is believe in them. And in order to believe in them, you have to believe in yourself. Right? Listen, learn, grow strong. Never let go of what you believe in. Never. Well, I think our work here is done. Shall we be off? Yeah, I guess so. Say, how about dinner? On me. We'll drink a toast to innocent Butz. Yeah. Oh, speaking of Harry, you were saying part of why you became a lawyer was because of him. Yeah. Part, at least. You'll have to tell me more about it sometime. Maybe over drinks. And so my first trial came to a close. Larry slapped me on the back and said, "Gee, Nick, it's good to have friends." And I'm pretty sure he's not going to pay me, unless you count the clock he gave Mia. I didn't know it then, but that clock was soon going to be at the center of another incident. And my promise to tell the chief about me and Larry would be one promise that I wouldn't be able to keep. The end. And so the second episode is Turnabout Sisters. And now we can play episode 2, Turnabout Sisters. So, that's it. That is Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, episode 1, the first Turnabout. And it's all called Turnabout because that's the like the Japanese name. It's like Turnabout Trial something or other. So all these are about turning the case around from a hopeless case on your part to turning it around to an absolute victory. It's a lot of fun. This game series is just great. What was this do? Oh, that's neat. So that's what Phoenix Wright is all about. It's a great series. It's a lot of fun. If you haven't ever played it before, I really recommend you give it a chance. It's a lot of fun. It's well written. The characters, it's just a lot of fun. A few of the jokes in this first case are a little childish to me. I mean, Harry Butz, yeah, har, very funny. But you know, it gets better than that. But anyway, that's gonna be it. Next time we're doing Fire Emblem Awakening. I've been waiting for this game since it was announced September of 2011. So that's what we're doing next time. And until February I'm gonna record on February the 4th. It may be a couple days later getting out, but that's what I'll be doing. And so until then, I will talk to you guys later. I hope you've had a good time since Thanksgiving, and sorry about not doing a December episode, but just didn't do one. So I was too busy enjoying my break. So alright, we'll see what the future holds. This has been Ace Attorney, and until the next time, later.